And we are back in the WCG 2012 Grand Final, back to the Toby One show.
Yeah, that's right. I talk non-stop for about 70 minutes, especially when we have a game where it's just like bum, 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 bum.
I was just amazed. That was such an intense game. That was crazy. What an amazing first map. And the second one, do you think we're going to have another 70-minute game?
It's quite possible, especially after the start of the draft. But the funny thing is, and this is something which a lot of people like, I joke about it right now. It's like, oh, have you finished farming? And to an extent, it is that. But it's also, this is the different type of Dota. You have the aggressive Dota, which is the beat the living pulp out of your opponent Dota. And then you've got decision Dota.
Okay.
And sometimes you can combine the two. And that was like, we beat the living pulp out of them at a certain point, and then we turned to decision Dota, and then we just blended the last 2 points together for the last, and that was the awesome thing that is Chinese Dota. You just like change and chop.
That looked like an old tradition brawl, to be honest with you. All of them just stuck in the team fights, and one punch after another.
It's what you got to do. Coming. It's what you got to do. Like at the end of the game, like that last game, the only thing you can do is to basically move as 5. The anti-mage was trying to split push and try and get the map control back again, try and repair what was done in the middle lane. And then he got caught out. And really, that was the end. That was like the pebble that just started the avalanche.
While the Morphling is being banned now by LGD, we actually have the anti-mage back in the game.
Yeah, Anti-Marga gets to come back because Batrider, TC, Rubik being picked up, because we could have seen the exact same line from LGD. They did use the, I was so damn right too. I was telling 2009 before that the Morphling be banned out, the DK gets taken out as well. I was like, you know, if you're going anti-mage, who else are you going to grab? You're going to get a Faceless Void. That's just the next logical explanation. So
you want to lock him down.
Yeah, so Void, AA, ES, plus Brewmaster. The downside about the lineup here from TongFu is that it doesn't really couple well together. Brewmaster can't move inside the Void ultimate. Ancient Apparition, you can attack from fire and the ALD will hit. Yeah, that's going to work. But ES, Fissure, can't get in range to the Echo Slam. You can blink yourself in, but you'll never get the Echo Slam off.
On the other hand, the last game was just so close. They need something to lock the anti-mage now. And if Zilla is actually able to get into such a late game mode once again, then you need a Void to shut him down. They had such a huge problem in the last game. In the end, yeah, they won, but still. How often did they kill him? Once?
It wasn't many times. It was, I think in grand total, maybe 2. And the last time was when he got picked off in the mid. Yeah, Vengeful Spirit will be our final pick up here from LGD. So a lot of control, a lot of hold. The really funny thing is right now, Rubik is the guy that just changes everything. His ultimate ability, the ability to steal any spell from your opposition. He can take Chrono. He can take Ancient Apparition's ultimate. He can take Cold Feet. He can take Brewmaster's ultimate if he so desires. This is the power of Rubik. Not to mention he's also going to hold him with telekinesis as well as his Feybolt, which is negative damage too. So even if Void does get a good Chrono and wants to kill off the anti-mage, one Feybolt and his damage is gone. This is the downside when you start looking at heroes like AM as well as Faceless Void. You know they need a level of farm before they can do some damage. Anti-mage, normally you get the Battle Fury up as fast as you can, and if he is protected, you're seeing a Battle Fury up about 12-13 minutes, and that, if you get that, the game is over. Because you just farm it at a rate which is just unstoppable. You can't stop it, that's why it's called unstoppable. But a Faceless Void requires a little bit more farm. In fact, a lot more farm. Because he needs to be able to, inside that Chrono, do damage and do damage fast. And that's where you normally see like things like Mask of Madness come out. It's a cheaper item, only costs you 1900, but lets you attack at a faster rate. The downside is you do take more damage, but he's going to be dealing with this horrible, horrible problem that you've got Rubik with the Feybolt. He jumps him, he's got all these damage-dealing items he wants to use, and all of a sudden, he's got half of his damage taken away from him by Rubik's Feybolt. What are you supposed to do? If VS gets in the mix as well, you've got a stun that can fly in, and this is actually where the support heroes for LGD work really, really nicely against the Faceless Void. And LGD picked TongFu into this position. They said, if you want to go up against anti-mage, you've got 2 choices. You can take us in the late game, or you can try and take us in the early game. And the early game can work if you go for a bit more of a pushing kind of lineup as well as an aggressive lineup. But TongFu said, we're going to try and take you in late game, man. We'll play safe. We did it before. Maybe we can do it again.
It was a close call, though.
It was a very close call. It really at one point should have been LGDs. It really should have been LGDs. And there was just some really fantastic fights from TongFu.
Especially when they pushed in at the top lane. I really thought they would be able to kill not only the tower, but push it to the barracks as well.
It should have been enough. Really, you're right. It should have been, but then the fight ended up happening outside, and things just worked. So let's actually just start to look through. So we've got Dark Terror, of course, the man known as Faceless Void. Doesn't really have much of a face. He's got eyes, and then there's something which resembles a face, but he's still called Faceless. He'll be heading on towards the top lane. So going to be in combination with. Well, is he?
Yeah,
yes,
it
is.
It's such an ugly face that you try to ignore him.
A player's forces.
I don't want to put a paper bag on him, but you watch him so closely during team fights.
Yeah, you have to.
Lich, is he going to remain up here on the top lane? This could be my big question right now. Because Faceless Void by himself on the off lane, it doesn't happen a lot. In fact, the only time I remember seeing this was when it was run at the semifinals of DreamHack, and that was with Dota 2. And it was the first point up and backtrack and just pray that you live. That's not going to work up against an anti-mage. Anti-mage will take everything you've got.
If you want to pick a hero who has the toughest time farming, what would it be?
Toughest time farming? Actually, anti-mage right now is having the toughest time farming. And I'm saying that not because Faceless Void's on the lane, but it's because Lich has got an inbuilt ability called Sacrifice that sacrifices a creep every minute. Takes a creep away. No experience, nothing, and gives him mana. That's Brewmaster versus TC in the middle lane. That's a fun, aggressive lane. But it's just like every second wave, you're missing a creep. And this slowly niggles away. You don't get the experience, you don't get everything else, and this is just going to frustrate a hell of a lot for Anti-Mage, who is so heavily reliant on getting farmed so early on. Loving this bottom lane as well. Is that Ancient Apparition up against a Bat Rider? Because Bat Rider didn't want to go in the middle lane, which would have been a really, really strong lane, but it would have weakened the off lane, because we kind of know Ancient Apparition and TC. TC would basically have gotten absolutely nothing, but ES is pulling, so it's actually ES and Ancient Apparition coupling in the bottom lane. We know their abilities coupled together because we've got the cold feet to go, ES Fisher to fly, and the cold feet, it's all about holding a position. The cold feet won't trigger. Like, if you walk far enough away, cold feet does nothing, apart from a little bit of niggling damage as you go. Void and Rubik just saying hello. VS is pulling and Void is not enjoying this because he's lost control of the lanes. Completely control of the lanes. Lich is going to come back and do something. And Brewmaster going to jump in through behind. So he's lucky enough to pick up a regen room for that 2 minutes. He moved himself out of the lane for it. Having a thunderclap there, so he's able to get one last hit. Just see, there he goes out of range creep. So this lane stops pushing. Void doesn't go too far out, but then again, it was actually only a single pull from VS, and this is what they wanted to do. This is just great control, push down the tier 1 tower. Hour Terror really drops down that armor of Faceless Void. Negative like 1.6 C up there on the board right now. He doesn't want to have that. And this tower, and this isn't even with a pushing lineup. This is just the tower going down to 2/3 of its normal life points because the large creep wave came in. And Lich is a very, very passive support hero. He doesn't have counter push against this. It doesn't work that way. Oh, how's that bottom lane? There's our first blood. Bat Rider able to pick up the Earthshaker, so no combination for you. And Bat Rider picks him out. That really shouldn't be happening. There should be wards watching him. And now even then, he's going to pick up the Ogre camp as well. Yeah, but what I want to say on the top lane, Vengeful Spirit, when you pull that easy camp, if you pull it at the 53-second mark without stacking, then you have the option that when the 30-second wave comes in, you actually have 2 creep waves at once. And when you got that kind of momentum behind you, oh, hello TC, or goodbye TC. When you got that kind of momentum with you, that's the easy camp he's pulling right now with a siege creep. So it's going to happen again, but this time with a meat wagon behind it. So meat wagon behind it, new creep wave comes in, and that pushing power with the catapult, it's going to be more than enough to bring down that tier 1 tower. They're just, it's stacking creep waves is the best way you can say it. You don't lose too much, you also get a little bit of farm, you get a little bit of levels, and you do damage to tier 1 towers without being forced to run a pushing lineup. And Void can't do anything against this. Lich, as I said, very, very passive. He's looking to take creeps away, not give them back. He's not like a Venom Man, so he can plant down wards, has a Gale, has a Frost, has something along these lines. It just isn't there. And Void isn't level 6, so he's got nowhere near his Chrono. And what Brewmaster is, level 5.5 now. So once that level 6 pops up, middle lane is almost suicide for anyone who wants to be in there. And the Fade Bolt kills off the creep wave, keeps on pushing in. Lich doing what he can, but Anti-Mage quite happy to stay on the front lines. And won't really want to fall back too far. Earthshaker and AA can add some pressure. Double damage on TC. He's already pulled the aggro of the creep wave, so he's quite happy. He's able to freely farm behind that tier 1 tower and doesn't really fear a Lich and ES diving on him. it's not normally an easy lane combo you see, but it's just them wanting to get that Ancient Apparition up in a higher level faster. And this middle battle, it's good to see them switching it though. TC on the bottom lane, having the strength here on the off lane, and Batrider towards the middle lane. This is where Brewmaster can't do much. But Batrider's also going to be very, very cautious. Because if Brewmaster comes in, lets off a good thunderclap, and then follows up with his ultimate, Brewmaster will get stunned. Batrider will get stunned and basically burnt to death. And if you need time, send him up in towards the egg and cancel off the Firefly because you have that Storm paired up. Live is pretty easy. And Faceless Void, he is not having a fun time on this top lane. I'm hoping for his sake his CS is looking pretty decent in comparison to the anti-mage. Because both the key farmers are up on that top lane. Anti-mage is, well, is that 6 minutes in, so we look to see him starting to build up that perseverance as well as treads. Now you can just skip it. It's the downside when you skip treads though, you can't really stand properly in a lane. And that's normally when you only have free farm. So I need to see what items he's got. Oh, Brewmaster, he is at level 6 now. Or should be that level 6 now. And maybe Frost Armor for VS. I mean, not for VS, for the Faceless Void. It's kind of a nuisance to any mage. He wants to get into the mix. But then Frosted slowed. He can't kill Void, but he doesn't want to. It's any mage, he wants to farm. What he likes doing. Batrider now
we saw that in the last game.
Yeah. just
How many kills did he have when we checked it? 700?
700 CS or around that point. It was pretty damn high. But for a 70-minute game, you'd expect something that high. But for a late Battle Fury, you probably wouldn't expect something that high. But this guy's different. Like we see Stout. So the poor man's shield plus the boots. So he won't. Oh, hello. He won't finish up his treads, but already has the Ring of Health. So that means perseverance, and actually I need to go straight into, oh, hello, Brewmaster, Batrider getting a little bit slowed down. He's trying to get towards the high ground to de-ward a little bit, and then is pushed back out again. But it just didn't come out to anything more. As we're just having ourselves a little fun time, distorting up a little bit too much.
Yeah, something of the technical equipment changed. Yeah, actually we had one of the crowd bumping into our desk earlier.
I don't know if it's actually considered a bump, more like a plow.
Yeah, I don't know what exactly happened there, but I told you guys that we are a little bit afraid of them actually overrunning our desk, and that kind of happened.
Yeah, we were right, man. Frost, Void, which is level 6 right now. They might have been able to go on that one using the Chronosphere and just pick up the Rubik. That's the one they want. They know they can't kill the AM. AM's got blink away. The damage, the nuke damage that comes out from the Lich is just not enough. And there's that Fade Bolt. There's a jump back down again too. Anti-Mage starting up on the Lich. Vengeful Spirit came through with a stun, but they both focus on different targets. Brewmaster CP'd in. He needs to blink. He needs to blink. It's all called out.
Too late.
And that is a big blow. But a lot of support coming in to stop that. Like a lot of support came in to stop that. That tower is also in deny range. And there we go, tower will be denied. They're taken out back in towards that middle lane. It's just Brewmaster back towards his farming. And then the pull starts on the top lane. It's Vengeful Spirit. They've taken out that tier 1 tower, and this actually isn't always the best thing you want to have happen. Because when this kind of stuff happens, then you lose control over that lane. And that's a dangerous, dangerous time. Because then the lane just pushes out way too far. You can't really control it too much. And you got to keep your creep wave getting destroyed. It's the only way. You got to deny your creep wave to the neutral camps. It's the only thing you really can do. By the way, the audio issues, Candle's on the job, so we should be getting it fixed up as he gets to return. But this is just one of those times when we start to look at LGD and TongFu and basically just say, when does this moment come? The things have to change. Like Lich can rotate down, we're already seeing moving down towards that bottom lane, same with Void. So, okay, so this is the time right now.
Alright, I actually think the sound stabilized a little bit.
Hopefully. I hope so, man, I hope so. But this is, so we look at that bottom lane, Void now getting all the farm that he wants to do. TC, he's already up on a 9's high level, but Void, they realize he's falling behind the AM. His CS must be nowhere near that level of the anti-mage. And well, that just requires Void to be given space. And he has an Ancient Apparition. They start to rotate out. They got their early levels, so they've got to give that back. If you have a sacrifice lane like that where you want to get level 6s up on 2 key heroes, then you've got to give it back. Fissure, got to fly right now. Got to lock down that Brewmaster. Batrider coming in. Lasso is there. TC Omen, Fadebolt. Really gets a lot. The Fissure really locks him up. TC Omen's going to be enough. They kill the Brewmaster before he can get the Omen off, which is not an easy thing to do. Then maybe a little bit of follow-up. Batrider really low on life, getting back up towards the high ground. And maybe TC getting himself up to the rune. He's going to pick it up as well, and now bottle charge it.
Man, that was actually so well done with the Blender and Brewmaster. They timed those skills perfectly. The stun was permanent. He had no chance to get his ultimating it out there.
Yeah, it's that wonderful thing we call chain stunning. And it's not an easy thing to do when you're in the heat of a battle.
Yeah, not at all.
Because it means you got to communicate with all your other players. That's
the timings were just perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, the timing was, man. Absolutely perfect. You expect that. You expect that from them. And now, Lich gets his time in the middle lane. Everyone's looking for these level 6s. They're the key things to get these level 6s up. Anime just pulling himself away to safety. And it'll be the middle lane where Sunshang goes up against TC. And this is just so ridiculous from Yali. He's capable of doing this. Farming just with his ancestral spirit. Brewmaster will return towards the middle lane. And maybe at one point he'll get to pop his ultimate in aggression. And Void
is having a good time at the bottom.
Oh! That's, what?
Someone has so much mana.
He pops the Chrono. He pops the Chrono, thinking maybe I can kill the Rubik. Maybe I can't. And he actually de-wards with it, because the Chrono reveals the Infist, so he saw the ward, and he was being de-warded himself. So what does he do? He pops the Chrono, and he kills a ward with his ultimate. That is definitely new meta. That is next level Dota. And Mag is just like, Rubik's just like on the bottom lane going, well, did I just get lucky then? I'm pretty sure it's got massively lucky. And Brewmaster just forced to remain in that middle lane. He is not enjoying his time there. Maybe now? TC just rotating out. Shaker raises the totem, thinking about the fissure. And Mech is almost done up for the Ancient Apparition. Nice support items coming up for him. And with the collapse as well as the fissure, maybe this is the time where they want to push out tier 1 towers. And Hal still farming up in that bottom lane, but getting picked up by Rubik, dropped back down again as well. Forced to retreat out a little bit further. It's also damaging for him. The last ability I believe he popped off was Chronosphere. And Void might be able to snipe that one out. Maybe he can. Now we see the broadsword, so Claymore probably won't be far off for Anti-Mage. I think I started explaining as well the fact you can pick up the Ring of Health because it gives you the life back. And we're going to try something different. We're gonna actually see if this is just my microphone when Caldor and I have switched headsets. Bottom lane, Vengeful Spirit gonna be really, really cautious right now. Maybe it'll be enough. No, back in range of the tier 2 tower. So safety first, and maybe now Mag should, yes, Magnus does go down. Runs over the tier 1 tower. And then retreating even further away, back from that tier 1 tower. But it's a lot of heroes being assembled for TongFu. They want to push out this bottom lane, bring down this tier 1 tower. And it should be doable. It should be doable. Now Anti-Mage continues to farm up on his off lane. And this bottom lane, maybe they can finally bring down this tier 1 tower. They kind of want to, but Torrent Achievement's not making this easy for them. That tier 1 tower is pretty damn low. It's within deny range. Glyph also popping off, not making it easy at all for them. But without a creep wave here, they are guaranteed the last hit. Sunshang, of all people, will actually take the last hit. So Lich gets a little bit of extra cash.
The player's forces are under attack.
And Earthshaker just buying a TP scroll and just leaving back to base. Arcane Boost is what he's managed to build up, and he'll want to get that Blink Dagger up as fast as he possibly can. Ancient Apparition has completed up that mech.
Town is under siege.
And Void, he's so far behind in farm, especially in comparison to that Anti-Mage. And this was that problem I was saying. There's that Claymore. Battle Fury, Chronosphere, Aeon. There's going to be a nice coupling up with Sylar. And he needs a Blink Fissure as well. It's going to be enough in the Echo Slam. He's behind the farm, but Hal is the one to claim the kill. And that is a big, big kill. I'm saying Anti-Mage is getting further and further away. And that's just one of those times where you say, well, okay. And he managed to get further away, what do? We kill him. It's the plan. Nice plan. I'm down with that plan.
I'm sure that's going to work if they're able to do that a couple of times. And yeah, nice pickup from the Brewmaster.
Yeah, Mu easily had to catch out Jay. That's the power of the Brewmaster ultimate. You can solo anybody you want to, basically. That
ultimate is just devastating.
It's harsh. It's really harsh to deal with. You have a guy who you think you can kill off, and if he pops his ultimate, he goes into three different panda forms. And then you have to kill off every single panda form to kill him. Or you wait until he goes back into his Earth Panda and then finish the job.
Not to mention that one of those guys that actually went for.
Yep.
Players' forces are under attack.
No.
Not anymore?
No. He has Tornado. It's like having a Ghoul Scepter on one of them. And then you've got the Earth Panda who stuns. And then you've got the Fire Panda who is basically your damage dealer. That's the three forms of the Brewmaster ultimate. And there's a lot of smoke already being purchased up for TongFu, so they want to keep this aggression going. 100% agree with it. Anti-Mage is getting at that point where his Battle Fury is going to get completed. And in fact, I am pretty sure that Courier is already making the trek. Or should be shortly. And there's going to be 4 men grouping up in that middle lane. So pop off those arcanes. Push to the tier 1 tower, and maybe this is what they want to remove. The timing, nice lasso, nice stun, and it is the gank train, but then again the supports come in, backtracking, Void walks away, oh, and maybe Chrono, bad right, he's in range of the tier 2 tower! Oh no! Lich are going to bounce around, a little bit of damage, Anti-Mage forced to blink away.
That was beautiful.
And that is just one of those moments. Mag is going to be actually the Rubik taking a fall.
Oh my god, that was amazing by Faceless.
Oh, Magnus, you just know. You knew that was going to go bad for him once that telekinesis just flew out. It's like, well, maybe I could, no. Too much support coming in. That Lich ultimate just starts off. A little bit of frost damage and forces the Anti-Mage out of the engagement. This is the problem you have when you have heroes like Anti-Mage. Like I was saying, Void, he takes a long time to get that farm up, but once he does a lot of damage. But he's able to give his team something, and that's the Chronosphere. That at least gives him something during team fights. Anti-Mage doesn't have anything like that. He's a damage dealer, and that's all. That's all he's got. So he has to deal with that, going, well, how do I fight during a team fight? That's why some Anti-Mages avoid the Battle Fury, and they look directly into having like an early Vanguard and Manta style, because that lets them be part of the engagement. And Battle Fury means you have to at least wait until, well, now he's probably got it about 17 minutes in. It won't be until 25 minutes in before you can do anything with it. That's the problem. That's the problem coming out. And if they can buy him the time, then it's going to be great. And Void and Anti-Mage will actually stand toe-to-toe now. But the problem is how much they lose in the meantime. There's going to be another tower to take a fall if they're not careful. Phasebolt, Ancestral Spirit, slowing them down. Actually, Lasso is there. He wants to pull him over the edge of that fissure. Unable to do so, and Mu, no, he's split, he gets it! Oh no! Oh no! Horrible times for LGD are coming! The Echo Slam already with the damage. 8's already on the sidelines, and Yao trying to retreat back out again. Fierce with a stun, but Fissure is there, and it hits with the Vengeful Spirit. The little Storm Ruling sends him up and towards the air. He waits, he preps, he stomps, he claps, he's doing what he can, and Rubik still the ultimate. Now we turn around. The ultimate Brewmaster turns the other way. Ancient Apparition sent up towards the air. The tower's already gone. The kills have already happened. He wants the Ancient Apparition. If he overextends this, however, he can find himself pushing an early grave. And Lich comes in with a frost. Is there a cold feet? And goodbye, Sunny Jim. Veronica sends him to Mars.
10-3, man.
I couldn't help it. An Anti-Mage. Oh, man. She's not where you want to be. Also, not exactly where Lich wants to be. They just focus him down, and Sylar, easy kill for him. 2 napalm stacks to the Firefly. Sunchain. Caught out, not retreating with the rest of his team. But that Battle Fury is up. It's at 19 minutes, and this game just turns to anyone's advantage. This is just one of those times. Actually, level 11 too, so Mana Void level 2 coming in for Anti-Mage. You burn that mana, and there's the AoE damage from it too. So one hero can actually kill your entire team if he loses his mana. One hero. If you remove enough of that mana pool and then you pop it, life is hard. Brewmaster actually himself is one of those heroes that would be the main focus. 481 mana points. Anti-Mage able to click through all of that. If you're trying to blink in the middle of all of this, if you're trying to do anything in the middle of an engagement, and like clap, blink, you've already used a large portion of your mana. He just clapped then and just lost like 120 of it. I believe it's 120. Like that kind of mana is just lost. It goes out the window. And then Anti-Mage removes the rest of it. You can't proc your ultimate. So you might have your ultimate off cooldown, but you can't use the damn thing because you've got no mana to use it. And this is one of those times where it's like, if Batrider holds me in position, I guarantee you that Brewmaster will never get his ultimate off during a team fight. It's heavily reliant on Earthshaker to come through at the end and say, you know what, I'll be there for you. I'll get that fissure for you. Void maybe trying to push out that top lane, but at the same time, Anti-Mage as well as TC, as well as Rubik and VS, everyone's going to take out the T1 tower mid. So it'll be a tower, or maybe not. You thought it was a trade. They're coming towards the middle lane smoke gang, and they're moving up onto the high side. They're moving to the Scourge side of the hill. And SC, he's in the wrong position for this one. He's going to get brought down. There's the blink in with the clap. ALD Fadebolt removes the damage to Brewmaster. A lot of damage already taken. VS, and there's the Chrono Swap. Oh no! Sylar! He's caught! The TC Omen blinks away to safety. Only just had to save him, but Void. Time walks on down. He's still going to get 2 kills. The Scourge, the clap, and now one more right click. There you go. Hal claims it. Back in towards the middle lane. Batrider with the double damage, but he's getting cold feeded up, and he will take a fall as well. 3 heroes lost, and LGD, this is spiraling out of control for them. Massively out of control. They wanted the Brewmaster and Anti-Mage, and oh, it was just the swap from hell. It was the swap from absolute hell. Just one of those moments when you just gotta 13 to 13 kills against 4. Fadebolt will remove a little bit of damage, but he knows if he gets blinked and jumped, he is dead. There is no other way out of it. There's no way around it. He will go down. And there's Fadebolt again, but Tier 2 tower is still taking the fall. So only do they take the fight. They take the Tier 2 tower. There's only 2 remaining outer towers now for LGD and TongFu. They're working their way to victory. Now they're going to go down to Tier 2 tower in the bottom lane. Void's doing it himself. They don't have to worry about this. Like 1 hero to come out, not going to be enough. 2 heroes to come out, still not going to be enough. The entire team, probably still not going to be enough. Anti-Mage got TP to try and defend this, but nope. How? Another last hit, this time for the tower. TP's up towards the top lane. Like Anti-Mage, you kind of want a tower trade. Not going to give it to you. Even the catapult is currently attacking the Void. So there's no way that this tower is like going to get through. It's going to get denied. And this is the 3rd tower now that TongFu have lost. And it's the 2nd tower they've denied. Hey, ulti. Nice! Perfect. Absolutely perfect. They knew the initiation to be there. That blink dagger on the Earthshaker, just a quick jump in.
If you compare this game to the last one, man,
you can't.
LGD is in so much trouble. Everything is just going wrong with them.
Yeah, LGD threw a lot of investment into this Anti-Mage. They ran him on the safe lane, they ran him a safe tri lane, and then we had this Lich Void combination in the lane, and it just removes so much of that farming which would normally get from the lane. It doesn't function correctly, and then you change it around, and then you go, well, Lich Void. Not working 100% on the top lane, but it's at least denying the Anti-Mage, and then you get the farm for Void, and then everything starts to work because your lane starts to rotate. You're finding these kills. Brewmaster got level 6, or was it? Batrider's also looking for kills. It's like, is that going to work? No. All these kind of engagements just keep on going the way of TongFu, and they can lap it up. They can absolutely lap it up. And now smoke gang time. 4 heroes grouping up, and this is TongFu. They want to find a big opening, and they're going to do so. They'll move up inside the jungle on the Scourge side and see if they can just catch 1 person out of position. And if it's that Anti-Mage, if they can get that initial stun, it's going to be Batrider. It's going to be Batrider. You knew it was going to come. Quick blink. Fast reflexes. That's why you are a professional gamer. Keelan's dagger comes in at the right time. Changing of the towels.
Yeah. I actually wonder if he has hyperhidrosis. That has to be the rule.
You should ask him, man. I don't know if he speaks English, but you should ask him. Tier 2 tower.
It's your game, buddy.
Yeah, it is my game. I should find out myself. Like I should know LGD. But this is going to be tier 2 tower taking a fall. This is basically unstoppable. Maybe a trade in the bottom lane. This three-way pushing in for LGD. So they might find a tier 1 tower. The Ancestral Spirit walks in. Does a lot of damage to Lich just then. There's going to be no other follow-through. And there's the TP already coming down towards the bottom lane. And would you believe it's Void looking for farm. His Battle Fury is completed. And that's 24 minutes in. And it won't be too long before he goes up and buys his treads. But this is just getting to the point now where LGD are getting backed into a corner. They're not getting trades, they're not getting towers, they're not finding anything. And if they lose one fight, it can also mean Roshan against them. If you put like an AUC model on any of these heroes from the Sentinel side, you're locked out. In fact, they're locking him in. Holy hell, they might even bring down Sylar. Blinks away. They blink down to follow him. They get him.
Oh my god, and again, he already tied like 3 times as much as the last game.
Yeah, this is problematic. It was a really awesome timing for his farm for the Battle Fury, but he's just been dying time and time again. And now in the bottom lane, Howard's already managed to kill off one. TC Ulman, and it should, no!
And Howard gets
leaps away with the Time Walk, and now blinking away as the Batrider. They realize they've spent so many Ulmans. The last two's on cooldown, TC Dollar's on cooldown. The Mag's already getting Void back up in life. They have to fall back further. And even then, they can actually go Roshan. I love this from melee heroes like the Brewmaster.
And Howard's getting stronger and stronger now.
Yep, buys the Vlads. So now there's lifesteal for all the melee heroes in here, be it ES, be it Void, and look at Roshan! The Medallion of Courage is helping to drop him down so damn fast. VS, Howl and Terror, you can scout out what you may, but you're actually just going to help them at the end of the day. There goes Roshan. And Void is the one who takes the Aegis, the Immortal. Brewmaster, you know, is already going to split and live. Lich and AA, they're expendable. Get their oldies right, and you got it. And Invis Rune for Brewmaster. They are smoked instantly because they want to take the aggression. They want to move through these wards and get themselves into the engagement. But with that Invis Rune, Brewmaster can go the next step and then gets attacked. Whoops, hello, there's a sentry there. The entire team gets revealed. And that's why we now see LGD. Oh, Blake! Oh, beautiful catch out. Void jumps in, and you are so dead. Howl takes them.
One after one, picking them off bit by bit here.
Great catch out. Great, great catch. And now, the push to come through the middle lane. TC again. Torrent Chieftain, big pain in the butt when it comes to pushing in. But still wants to keep it going.
His ulti, right?
Yeah, all ulti should still be up. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was wasted at all. And there's that jump in. The buyback already by the Batrider. Brewmaster popping off his ultimate. He's going to lock down the Vengeful Spirit. He actually sends TC up and towards the air. Their support isn't there. They're not going to get close enough to do the damage. And smoking away from that ultimate. So one thing you can do is they don't actually count as units. Are they going to kill that Earth Panda? Turning around. Stun on TC. He rejoins himself into himself, would you believe?
There it is.
Oh, big steal! Lich ultimate, the Void ultimate, holding him there with the Lich ultimate combination. The clamp goes out. He wants to get rid of the Storm Panda, maybe even the Earth Panda. Fire Panda, let's get rid of all the pandas. There's already 2 on the sidelines. Buyback's going to be here sometime soon. Maybe not. Rubik, he's back being himself. They've got to keep this aggression going. Snake charges. It's too much. It's too much. Brewmaster can buy back in the game. Silas drawing when he can, trying to force them back out of their base. But this has cost them so dearly. 22 for 5.
22 for 5, and Howard has the time of his life in here.
It wasn't just him as well. Veronica, perfect timing for his ultimate. And now they're kind of almost hoping Anyman's going to push him out. He's got Vitality, but he's got Ultimate Orb. Is he trying to build Lincolns? No, it's like Mandasar. Whoa, what am I thinking? Whoa, I'm tripping at the end of game number 2. But actually having that Ultimate Orb, it shows you how defensive he has to be. He's going for a stats item as opposed to the Yasha, which is your attack damage and your movement speed, which is exactly what AD mages need. But he can't do it. He doesn't want to do it. Because if he does that, he dies too fast during team fights. He hasn't put out anything else. He doesn't want to go the Vanguard. He wants that Manda style, and it's just not doable for them.
Forces are under attack.
And now, even BKB is starting to come up for the Batrider, but he's so far off it. He's at 1600 for the Mithril Hammer, and then the recipe on top of that. It's just such a big, big ask for LGD, but if they pull it off, if they're able to pull it off, it will be the comeback of the century.
that would give him definitely enough momentum for game 3, but right now it really looks like TongFu is just too sorry.
Yeah, TongFu will be absolutely heartbroken if they lost this, but at this stage of the game, if they lose this game, it would just be hating on themselves, and it would be from mistakes by themselves. It would have to be a mistake from TongFu, and LGD to capitalize on it. It's a good play by LGD, bad play by TongFu is the only way they can really come back inside this game. But then again, errors can be forced. Definitely can be forced, and this is the time to force it. That top lane's pushed out a long, long way for LGD. And that's once again that anti-mage doing the job. We saw him do it in the last game, and he prolonged this game a long, long way. The big charge to go, Fadebolt as well. It's like Time Walk is the thing that's stolen out by Rubik. And then just keep on pressuring. Tier 3 tower is all they want. Even starting to build up on the butterfly coming out for Void. And then there is no damage that can kill him. Between the evasion he's got and everything else, man, that actually Sylar is doing more damage than what TongFu was capable of achieving to the mid-tier 3 tower of LGD. And that was with 4 heroes back in towards the middle lane. The engagement's happening. There's the Chrono. Caught out the TC. Not enough. He actually got himself forced up back out of safety. And this Brewmaster on with Lich. I'm going to fly up. He's going to kill off the Vengeful Spirit. Bounce up to TC with nothing else to bounce to. And Brewmaster jumping in Void. In deeper. Looking for the time lock. Can't get it, but he's still doing low damage. There's a time lock. How with a double kill. He is godlike and wants to go beyond. There's a time walk from actually. Wow, would you believe his own ability turning against him? That's what Rubik can do. Can just steal it away. They're chasing him down. They need Rags, TC, slowing him down. And Brewmaster pull back out again, but Void. He looks and he gets it too. Time look at the Bat Rider. It's actually a 3rd kill. Wants to go for another one. It's a double kill. Somebody can't kill him. Doesn't matter what this announcer asks for. And they're searching. There is the Rubik. He jumped up, and Void's right on top of him, a little bit further up. Already dead. Moo will take him, and it's only a matter of time before they finally start taking out some kind of like position, and that's called Rax. That's called the basically the win. VS swapping down, but it's just easily chased around. Another GG. Your winners are TongFu taking out the favorites LGD 2-zip. The first game, an insanely long, epic game. And this second game, it was TongFu. This brings us to the end of the day, Caldor.
Certainly does, man.
And you know we get to come back again tomorrow morning at 12 o'clock, and it's the Dota 2 Grand Final.
Dota 2 Grand Final tomorrow, guys. That's going to be pretty exciting. And of course, we also have the StarCraft 2 Final. We have FIFA. We have all the finals.
We have Warcraft 3 Grand Final as well. We get to do that one.
So cool.
A day you will not want to miss, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed today's coverage as well. We will return to you. Caldor and myself, Toby1. We are your rock when it comes to World Cyber Games English coverage.
At least at the main stage.
Yeah, at the main stage. The only stage. As far as the best coverage goes.
Man, that first game was so sick. Kind of dominating game number 2, but the first one, that was crazy.
Yeah, it was one of those times where you just look at the game and go, decision-based gaming can just take you to levels that you never really think about. And it's when the pressure just builds up and builds up and builds up. You don't know what you can do in that situation as a player until you've got the experience of being there. And all these players, so much experience, and that's why even like LGD or TongFu, you kind of knew that they would make the right decisions. And LGD did to a point, but one time you get caught out. The decision was right to push, but TongFu played better. They caught him out, and now they make their way up onto the main stage to actually greet their fans, to greet the Chinese crowd to applaud them. Well deserved. Very well deserved.
China with the first win here at WCG 2012 on the home turf.
Well, it's actually now our second grand final now done, so the Russians managed to win Wall of Tanks. And now it's China who take out Dota 1. Because we won't want to forget all the other final stuff coming up tomorrow. We'll look forward to your company then. I hope you've enjoyed it. We're going to have a break. I'm going to find a new voice box.
We'll see you guys back tomorrow at WCG 2012 Grand Final in Kunshan, China. Thanks for tuning in today. Make sure to tune in tomorrow. Bye-bye.